Hello and welcome to an RC video tutorial by JT12's RC Videos. This is a very popular tutorial as been requested, and in this video we're going to be looking at the Nanda MB5 RC buggy, and I'm going to be using this as a demonstration for how to fix a slipping pull start on your Nitro engine. This is a problem that I've just experienced with this one, and let me just demonstrate the problem. The problem is when you pull the pull start, there's no grip there. It pulls occasionally, so it is an intermittent problem, but when you pull it, it's not actually turning over the engine. The pull start itself is slipping. You see that? So this is the problem we're going to be looking at, and in this tutorial I'm going to go through how to fix the problem. It is a very simple problem and it is a very easy fix as well, so let's get to it. Now, depending on the layout of your Nitro vehicle, you possibly might be able to do this with the engine left in the car, and you can then access the pull starter through the rear. Just for the purpose of making this easier, I'm actually going to remove the engine. If you want to know how to remove the engine, please check out video tutorial on my channel, how to remove the Nitro engine, but I am going to remove the engine because I find it easier to access the pull starter with the engine actually removed. Okay, so as you can see, I've just removed the engine. That probably took me no more than, I would say, I don't know, probably about 3 minutes. That easy. Very, very self-explanatory. It's just a case of removing the exhaust manifold there, remove the 4 engine screws, disconnect the carb barrel linkage. Just for easiness, I've also removed the air filter as well, but that doesn't have to come off. If you're going to remove the air filter, I'm just going to stuff something in there just to stop any bits going into the carb whilst I'm working on the engine. Okay, so now the engine's out, let's get the buggy out of the way to give us some more room to work on it, and then we'll take off the pull start and fix this issue. You might be thinking, well, actually what causes this issue? Well, it can be a few things really. Usually it's just the pull start getting wet, the coil inside and the string getting wet. It can also be oil actually getting onto the bearing inside, and that's what I'm expecting it to be this time. Okay, so engine removed. What we need to do now is remove the pull start. Now this is held on with 3 crosshead screws, sorry. So I'm going to get a crosshead screwdriver. Okay, now here's where you need to be careful. As you start to take off the last one, there is a spring under here. Now the last thing I want is for that spring to come out. They are a pain in the arse to rewrap. So whilst I'm taking off the last screw, I'm going to use my thumb to hold the pull starter on to the engine, and then I'm only going to release it very, very slowly when I'm ready to do so. Okay, so I've got hold of it, and you can feel if it's going to spring out because you can actually feel it. So I'm just going to very slowly, very carefully try and get it off there. What you might need to do is use a flat end screwdriver to just get this part off the bearing, because you don't want the coil to come out of the pull starter case. So I'm going to grab a flat end screwdriver and I'm going to slide that in there as we take it off. Okay, and you can see by doing that, if we take it off now, by doing that everything has stayed inside. If you just quickly take it off and you just, you know, sort of ram it off, chances are you'll pull the casing away and then this bit will stay on here, and then chances are the coil is going to come out. So now that the engine's out and the pull start's off, I can see there's lots of debris, lots of sand on the back of the engine case, and also lots of sand. We get the pull starter up here, lots of sand as well on inside the pull start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out and I'm just going to spray some compressed air in there to try and get some of that sand out and try and get this pull starter moving a little bit better. Another thing I'm going to do is just slide this part out and just give this part a clean as well, okay? Because often this is the part that is actually causing the slipping problem. So I'm going to spray some WD-40 on that, give that a good old clean. I'm going to pop that back into there once it's done, and I'm going to clean up the actual pull starter itself to get that moving a little bit more freely. This problem has purely come, I can now see, from having lots of debris got into the pull starter. So I'm going to do two things to attempt to fix it. I'm going to give this a clean first off, and I'm then going to have a look at the pull starter itself and try and get that moving a little bit freely. Obviously just be really careful, as I say, about that spring, because if that spring comes out, then that's going to be your whole weekend consumed trying to wind it back up. So I've just done two things, as I said. I've just done this one, I've removed this and given that a good old clean. That's probably what's causing the issue. And I've also given this area a clean. I'm just going to test it now. I'm just going to use my hand there just to stop it from coming out. I'm just going to test it. As you can see, that's much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this bit back onto there. Don't remember, there would have been a little spring coming out possibly. I'm going to slide that back onto there, and then we will see how it goes. Okay, so screws are back in, nice and tight. I'm just going to check, see if that's fixed the problem. And you can see now it has solved the problem. Just cleaning that little bearing has solved this issue. The pull starter is pulling and it's gripping and then it's retracting back. So good job done. Okay, so once that's done, obviously your final thing is just to put the engine back into the car. Once it's back into the buggy, then you're all done. What I'd advise is, whilst your engine is out, I'm going to give my car a little bit of a clean under there, oil up a few bits, oil up the gears and that, and then pop the engine back. It's a good chance to give it a little service. But for this tutorial, that's my work done. Hope this has been helpful for you. How to fix the slipping pull starter in Nitro engines. Obviously this one has been specific to the SH21 engine, however you can use this tutorial, use those steps for pretty much any Nitro engine. They all run the same way. So that was it. Very simple. Thank you very much for watching, and more videos are coming soon.